Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. Hey, so I wanted to do a solo read today. We just finished up our live stream with Libby, and that was a lot of fun. So, Libby, thank you so much. It was the fastest hour and 40 minutes or so that we've ever certainly done. It was just a joy to have you. I know everyone in the audience was really excited about it. We had over 3,000 people watching the live stream while we were recording it, and that's really good for us. That's about 3 times more than we've ever done. We typically do probably about 700, 800, 900-ish, and to have 3,000 was amazing. And thank you everyone out there that watched it. Hopefully you had as good a time as we did. So what I wanted to do, we got a couple things going on in California. We've got these ICE protests that are happening down in Los Angeles, and Trump has called up, federalized the National Guard, and sent them in to Southern California. Governor Newsom isn't supportive of this. The mayor of LA is not supportive of this. The police chief in LA isn't supportive of this. None of these people want the National Guard there. They don't feel that it's necessary. And Governor Newsom was saying, hey, this is an inflammatory decision that you're making. And it's basically, you're just trying to goad them into rioting. And you're just going to make this situation go really bad, really fast if you do this. And some people were asking in the comments, is Trump going to declare martial law? So there's certain hoops that he needs to jump through and certain conditions that need to be met in order to do that. The general consensus is that we're nowhere near that threshold, but he's going to be in Camp David. I guess he's going to be talking to his military people and see what advice they're going to be giving to him and whether he follows that advice or not. So for entertainment purposes only, let's come on down and see what's going on in Camp David with Trump and his military advisors regarding the protests in Los Angeles. And are they looking at martial law? Are they looking to impose it? For entertainment purposes only, what do we need to know about his meeting at Camp David? Okay, foundation of the reading is 10 of Pentacles. Trump is looking at his legacy. His first time around, there were lots of protests, a lot of resistance, and he let his aides basically talk him out of deploying the National Guard troops on them. This time around, he's chomping on the bit to do that. He so wants to send the military in because all these people that are protesting and disobeying his will, he views them as the enemy, and he wants to destroy his enemy. That's his legacy, that he wants to be known as the tough guy president. The challenge, the cross, is the Six of Swords. It's one of those situations where, just let it go. The protesters are, they're having their say, and then they're going to go away. Underneath it, you got the Ace of Swords, the sword of truth, the sword of justice. That could be taken two ways. It could be taken that Trump wants to force his truth on the situation. He wants to wield the sword. He wants to show everyone that he's strong and tough and fight. The other way to interpret this card is the energy underneath is these are people that are exercising their First Amendment rights. As far as I know, there has been a little bit of mayhem at these protests, but for the most part, they have been peaceful. There has been some rock throwing and some other stuff, which is going to happen. But for the most part, the police feel that they've got everything under control and that, it's not like there's riots happening. So they have they're marching for their truth. In the past, you got the Four of Pentacles. This is my Trump card. This is Trump wanting to control everything. He does not like the state of California because we don't vote for him. We're not welcoming to him. And we are the fourth largest economy in the world, and Trump wants control over California, and he wants to punish us. It's like the fires in L.A. He was looking for a scapegoat to blame California and their progressive nature for why that fire happened in L.A. And it just was simply, he couldn't shove his narrative into the box that the reality was in. Current situation is the Empress. He just wants what's best for his agenda, for his legacy. He wants to be remembered as the one that made America great again, if you will. This is about taking care of people. This is about being kind and being loving and being caring. Do you get that feeling with Trump? That, what he's doing with ICE and threatening, to bring in the National Guard. Do you find that as kind and caring and loving? No. So we can reverse this. This is kind of that entitled, uncaring, selfish act, which seems to be the direction that fits this narrative best. Overarching energy is the Knight of Pentacles. It's one of these situations where you should be sitting back and observing. Hold your actions in reserve. See what happens. There's nothing that's so dire that you need to send in troops and declare martial law. Lesson to be learned is the Nine of Wands. This will run its course. There's other battles out there. You don't need to fight every single battle that's in front of you, and actions will be taken. But in this case, this card could also be seen as Trump he feels like he will look like he is not strong, that he is not decisive if he doesn't do anything. He wants to take action, he wants to fight, but he's probably being told to just relax and let it play out, let it fizzle out. The outcome is Justice, which is a very interesting card because we've got the Sword of Justice underneath it. I get a good feeling with this card that basically that they're going to tell him in Camp David that martial law is not a just solution to this. It won't hold up. If you do this, it will go to the courts and it will not hold up. So his staff, his military staff, may talk him off the ledge on that. They'll have to do a hell of a job because I know he really, really, really wants martial law, and then he can start really being a dictator with it, right? Okay, so that's the general energy around it. They're concerned that if he oversteps, that it's not going to survive in the courts, and then that will clip his wings for the rest of his term. That you fail here, and then you will never be able to play that card again, or even threaten the card. Okay, so let's take a look. Will he declare martial law? Because Trump doesn't listen to his advisors. He does whatever the hell he wants to do, right? Entertainment purposes only. Is he going to listen to is he going to try and execute martial law in California? Okay, foundation of the reading. There's the card I was kind of expecting last time. Strength card. He wants to because it shows how strong he is. Challenge is the Ten of Wands. It's a burden. There's probably a lot of baggage that comes with this. Certainly, this is really going to, if you thought the protests in Los Angeles were big, wait till you put martial law, and then it's just going to get really crazy. It's a burden that you might not want to, action you might not want to take. Underneath it, the energy, once again, Six of Swords. Just let it run its course and everything will be fine. The protesters will have their say, they'll make their statements, and then they'll move on. In the past, either I got to shuffle these cards better or there's really a strong message coming through. In the past, Trump wanting to control the narrative. Trump wanting to have all the things of value. He wants, he wants to punish California and take away the things. No, kitten. I've got a cat that's wanting to get in on this reading. Hold on just a second, please. Hi, kitten. How are you? You're interrupting my reading. As much as they love a cat sighting, this is very exciting stuff, kitten, and they're not going to be able to see it with your furry body in the way, so stand by. Okay. Fuzzball kitten removed. Okay, so once again, Trump wanted to control everything here. Current energy is temperance. Is he looking to put in martial law? The current energy is they're telling him to calm down and be balanced. Everything will be fine. But you see, that's not what he wants to do. He wants to show that he's strong. He doesn't want to show that he's balanced. He wants his way. Overarching energies, the Two of Cups. Agreements being made. Maybe what this is Gavin Newsom getting on the horn with him, or his military advisors basically telling him, we need to keep our relationships going here. I get a feeling it'd be more Gavin Newsom reaching out to Trump. We'll see how that is. The lesson to be learned is judgment. If you execute martial law, people are going to stand up. It's the call. It's, you can't ignore that. That isn't, there's some protest. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. This would be martial law, military in the streets, curfews, and people are going to stand up and be counted. And the outcome is, so we got the Two of Cups and the Lover's card. My feeling is he won't do it. That there's some sort of a relationship building here. I don't. It's such a weird set of cards. If he wants martial law, I don't know. I don't know what that means. I get the feeling that he wants to do it, but he's going to be talked out of it. That it's just simply not going to happen. And it's something about the relationships and I think Dave tapped on it. What I think it could be is when he was getting all high and mighty with the tariffs, China and Japan sort of brought up the fact that, we hold a lot of the U.S.'s debt, and the bond market was really going nuts, and that's what calmed Trump the hell down. What this Lover's card could be is Gavin Newsom pointing out to Trump that, you institute martial law, that's going to create a lot of additional risk in the United States, and that's going to cause the bond yields to go. And that means the U.S. is going to have to pay a lot more to finance its debt, and it's going to cost lots and lots of money if you declare martial law, and Trump's relationship with money is not something that he wants to sacrifice. That's probably what that is that they'll hit him with, well, you can do it if you want, but California being the fourth largest economy in the world, and, if you're the great businessman and you're going to make America great again and make everyone think profitable, tanking California's economy is probably not the way to do it, and adding risk to the bond interest rates is definitely not the way to do it. So, yeah, that they'll probably deter him with pulling financial levers on it. That's probably what we're seeing there on that. Okay. And then I think that's all I'm going to read on that, we'll see what happens. So thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you've seen the live with Libby. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot that we unpacked on that. So take a look at that. If you like these videos, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. We put out a new video every day at midnight Pacific time. Hit the bell and we'll wake you up. Now, rest assured, Dave and I will be fast asleep, but you'll be awake watching us, and we'll pretend we're awake for you. And I just like to give a couple of shout outs to some of the viewers. We've had some very generous contributions to the channel. And I just want to reach out and thank some of those people. The first is Katie Inca, or Katie in California. Katie in California made a very generous contribution to the channel. Thank you so much, Katie in CA, Katie in California. Magician, yes, manifesting results. Thank you so much. Let's see. I give a shout out to Mangal in Ireland. Hi, Mangal. I have not forwarded that hyperlink to Libby yet. Could you resend me the hyperlink that you sent? Because it was a link to Al Jazeera, and I'm not sure if the link was to the article you really wanted me to send to her. So Mangal, send me that that updated link so I'm making sure I'm sending her the right information. And Three of Wands, I'll be waiting for that overseas email from you. Let's see. Grumpy1311 made a very, very generous contribution to the channel. Thank you so much. So appreciate it. And we're going to give you the Knight of Cups. Hopefully we'll all get our emotions in check and we can move forward in friendship. There's so much distress going on in the world right now. It's really upsetting. So thank you so much for your kind contribution, Dave, and I truly appreciate that. And then we'll wrap it up with Heidi Phillips. Heidi wanted to shout out because she never had her name called out on Romper Room, and I believe it. So Heidi, thank you so much. Hopefully you'll get your shout out in the future, and if you don't, well, don't get too emotional about it. Ace of Cups. Good, strong emotions there. We just want good, positive emotions, all right? Thank you so much, Heidi. And for the rest of you, card to send us off. And we've got the Judgment card. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Martial law gets implemented. We need to stand up and have our voices heard. That being said, I think on June 14th, there is a series of protests that are planned for around the United States. Just so happens it's Trump's birthday. Just so happens it's his little military parade with the Army's 250th birthday. It'd be nice if we had more people out on the streets protesting than they had people waving their little American flags and paying Trump thousands and thousands of dollars to see his little parade. Wouldn't that be nice? And what would be even better is if all those millions protesting had a nice taco in their hand while they were doing it. So thank you so much, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.